xSimstress here today, and welcome to another Sims 4 speed build. Today we are building a tiny house. I'm going to entitle it Grandma's Cottage, I think. I built this with an elderly female sim in mind. You could potentially have Grandma and Granddad living here, but I was thinking more just Grandma living on her own. She wanted to downsize after Granddad died, maybe, or something. That's kind of morbid, but you get where I was going with it. So yeah, I was thinking Grandma lives here, and it's a nice place for the family to go and visit Grandma. Maybe you've got to the point in your game now where you're like, yeah, this elderly sim is really ruining the next generation, like she's just kind of annoying to have around here. I'm going to move her out into this cute little tiny house, which I'm building on a lot in Willow Creek. It's a 20 by 30, I think. Maybe? I think it is. I think it's 20 by 30. I don't think it's 20 by 15. It looks, as I'm looking at it now, it looks like 20 by 30, so I'm going to go with that. If it's not, I apologise. It is, however, on the gallery. You can download it. Information is in the description. Just search my gallery ID, which is xSimstress, or you can search the hashtag Simstress, and you will find all of my builds. Anyway, so I actually I recorded this build before Realm of Magic came out, which is a long time ago now, but never got around to doing the voiceover until now. So here we are, voiceovering it. I really love this build though. I was actually so happy with how this turned out. I think it definitely captured the vibe that I was going for. I also went absolutely insane with debug objects in the landscaping in the garden, which you will see when I get into the garden. I don't know if I did. I think I did the full interior before I did any landscaping, but I can't quite remember. I mean, I guess we'll find out in a minute. But as you can see right now, I'm just like doing the wall coverings and things on the inside. Placing a fireplace. I thought fireplace is essential. There are two things that I absolutely have to have in a grandma's tiny house. It is a fireplace and a big armchair with a little poof. There's the armchair and the poof that I've just placed right now. And yeah, I love the living space. It's very small, it's very cramped. I am not 100% sure if you can use that bookcase. I think you can. I think I did playtest it, but I playtested it when I built it and I can barely remember building it, so I'm not 100% sure, but I'm fairly sure you can use that bookcase. And everything else in the house is usable as well, I do believe, which is good. That coffee table doesn't stay there. That coffee table does get deleted because I thought it was a bit too cramped. At least I think I delete the coffee table. We'll find out when we get there. I really can't remember building this. It's been a while, but I really love how it turned out, and I had to get round to posting it eventually. I built it actually in the same day that I built the caravan trailer build that I did a while ago on my channel. I built them in the same day, but I posted that one, and then Realm of Magic hit. Everything went a bit crazy, and I just totally forgot to even like voice over this build, let alone post it. But anyway, into the kitchen now. So I used that open, like old-fashioned kind of fridge and the wood-burning stove. I just thought it was a bit more rustic, a bit more homely. I feel like, you know, I just felt like it fit the vibe and aesthetic of the house. The kitchen's small. It is just across the back wall there. There is only one free counter available, which means there's not a lot of clutter in the kitchen, much to my upset, because I really wanted to completely clutter it, but unfortunately it just wasn't possible. I also put a dining table there. I did at one point, like you just saw that, I did consider just using a smaller dining table, like a small round one or something, but I wanted a bigger table. I don't know why. I just felt like I wanted a bigger table, but I did end up kind of shuffling it over and just putting 3 chairs around it, because I felt like with 4 chairs around it, it kind of ended up I don't know, it was like blocking the front door, which I didn't really want. Now I look back on it in hindsight, I could have just used one of the like the smaller round table that I had initially, and that would have fit the same amount of chairs. And I don't know why I didn't really, but hey ho, whatever. Also, you saw that I just placed some like weighing scale things on the kitchen counter. They get removed because I play tested it and the Sims couldn't use the counter, and it's the only free counter, so I did have to remove those. So there actually isn't any clutter in the kitchen. There also wasn't space for shelves in the kitchen, so I couldn't even clutter some shelves in the kitchen because the window is in the like open bit of like the only bit that would be open wall is window. So unfortunately I couldn't even clutter any shelves in the kitchen, which was very sad, but it's because I insisted on using that huge cupboard thing that you see at the far right of the kitchen. I wanted to put that there because I feel like grandmas, they need a lot of storage. They seem to hoard a lot of food to old people. I don't know if that's just my grandparents. They just seem to hoard a lot of food. So I felt like she needed more cupboard space. You may have also noticed I did put a pet bowl in, and there is a cat litter tray in the bathroom. I don't know, just imagine grandma had a cat. Don't know why. The cat bed is in the bedroom, which we'll see in a minute. Litter box in the bathroom. Food bowl is in the main living space. Didn't put a scratching post, I don't think, anywhere. So you might have to get that if you do actually have a cat in this household. But yeah. By the way, if you do download this, it doesn't have to be for a grandma sim. You can, anyone could live here, but I decorated it with a grandma sim in mind. It obviously doesn't have to be a grandma. And it doesn't have to be a grandma, it could just be an old woman. I didn't actually put like a room for like kids. Like there isn't like kids' toys or anything in this house. So despite the fact that I did imagine this sim was a grandma, she doesn't actually have any things for kids or like a place for grandkids to sit or anything like that. So if you wanted to add that in, you could also do that. But anyway, I'm moving into the bedroom now. This, for a tiny house, is a decently sized bedroom. I am not 100% sure what the rules on tiny houses are, because I mean, it didn't really start as a tiny house. It was just a rectangle that I kind of built. I wasn't thinking, oh, this is going to be a tiny house, but it just ended up really small and really cramped. So I'm calling it a tiny house. But I don't know what's the maximum size of a tiny house. I don't really know, but it is quite a generous tiny house, shall we say? But it is very cramped. There is a lot of squish involved, so I'm gonna say it's a tiny house, for the fact that I want to claim it's a tiny house. Anyway, so yeah, this bedroom is kind of going with like a kind of red, yellow, blue, green colour scheme. That's kind of what I went for. She just has bed, dresser, some plants, and some little decorative boxes and paintings and things in here. So it's very simple. Just very nice, very kind of rustic and really homely. I don't know what it is about like old people aesthetic, but it's just so homely and comfortable. Anyway, here's where I delved into the debug menu. Cut a lot of me scrolling through the debug menu out of this video, but I used these like pine tree things at the very back of the lot just to kind of like frame it a little bit. They do look slightly out of place in this world. I feel like if you placed this house in Glimmerbrook, it probably would fit in a lot more, but like I said, I did build this before Realm of Magic was out, so I couldn't place it in Glimmerbrook, but I actually think if you did place it in Glimmerbrook, it would look really cute, and it would probably fit in a little bit better than it does in the middle of Willow Creek. I think this is the lot across from the Goth's house, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't know, but actually, is it? I don't know. I mean, it might not even be in Willow Creek. I might just be completely forgetting. But anyway, this garden, the garden is the selling point of this house. The inside, I mean, the house itself, the inside, it's cute, but the garden is something else. So I'm thinking this grandma is well into her gardening. She takes great pride on her gardening. There's a lot of flowers. and it's just a lot. It's a lot of fun. She has a pond out back. You can actually fish in that pond. Now, because I sized the pond down, there is a few little issues with the fact when you're in gameplay, the game still thinks that there's water like around the sides of the pond. It's not an issue for like Sims walking around the pond or anything like that, because it's a debug item, they walk through it anyway. But because it is sized down and it is a debug menu item, so they're not really 100% with it in the game. There is a little bit of like water splashing out over the sides, but if you look past that, you can actually fish in the pond. It's very cute, it's very nice, and I really love the back garden. I also really love the front garden, which you're seeing now, which is just so cute. I don't know, there's just something about all the flowers and the hanging baskets, and it's just cute. And I love the path. I love these garden stones. I know everyone uses like the rugs from Get Together. At the time of building this house, I didn't have Get Together. I do now, but at the time I built this, I didn't. And so I was looking for a replacement for those, and I found these garden stones, and I will never not use these garden stones now. I don't care how good the rugs from Get Together are, I love the garden stones. Anyway, into the back garden now. Now, I struggled with the placement of a lot of things in the back garden because I wanted her to have like little planter boxes and things. I wanted her to have this florist table that's from Seasons, I do believe, and I did put Patchy in the back garden. No real need for him really, but I did put Patchy in the back garden. I was also considered putting swings in the back garden at one point, but then I thought it's a bit small. But I did also put a grill out here. I put a grill and a table with an umbrella on it out the back, and that is what I kind of struggled to place, was the table, because I had to place it somewhere where it wasn't going to be in the way of the gardening things, like those like 4 slot planters for the gardening. I wanted them to be fully usable, so the sim has to be able to get to all 4 of the plants, but I just couldn't get the orientation right, and then wherever I put like the table, it looked a bit weird and out of place, and then I moved the grill around, kind of started messing with it a little bit. Yeah, I don't really remember where everything ends up. I do eventually get it to a spot where I sort of like it, but it did take a lot of messing around. It did take a lot of fiddling. I think I also put an easel out here ultimately, and maybe the bee thing, the bee box, maybe. Yeah, there's the bee box. I do think I put an easel out here, and I did try to get a 3rd one of the planter boxes in, because again, I kind of wanted to have loads of planter boxes, but yeah. You could maybe get rid of the grill if you want, but I just kind of wanted there to be a grill because I kind of wanted her to be able to like host her family and her friends in the garden, and I kind of thought a grill kind of contributes to that. So yeah, anyway, I'm just terrain painting now, and then we're coming very close to the end of the build. We'll be getting into screenshots in a moment. Yeah, there we go. There's screenshots. So I'm going to go ahead and say thank you all so much for watching. Like I said, if you do want to download this build, it is on the gallery. Search my ID xSimstress, or you search the hashtag Simstress, it will come up. You could also maybe search Grandma Cottage, and it might come up then as well. I don't know, I don't really... Searching on the gallery is a bit weird. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. If you did like the video, please do like it. If you're new here, please subscribe. I do speed builds and let's builds and let's plays and things like that as much as I can. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!